So tonight I've completed the receiver first IF amplifier, which is also the transmitter's second IF amplifier. And so now it's time to go ahead and test it. Now last time I tested the crystal filter, and putting in the crystal filter it made the tuning on, as I tuned the VFO, it made it a lot sharper. I was only really hearing the VFO right when it was on that 11 megahertz frequency. And I wasn't getting a whole lot of other excess noise. Before, after putting in the other IF amplifier, but without any filter yet, I was getting the VFO on a few different spots on the dial and lots of excess noise around it. And so now the question is, what's it going to be like with both IF amplifiers? Now that there's some amplification going into the filter, is that going to cause it to widen up again and start receiving the VFO in some other places? Or is it still going to be nice and tight? Is it just going to make it louder? Let's find out, see what it does. Okay, now I've got everything set up and ready to test. I've got my signal generator on and warmed up, and I've got it already hooked up to the board here. The signal gets inputted into C43 and C45, the junction of those two. And so I've got the clip on that here. I'm using the ground side of the PTT for the other clip here coming from the signal generator. The one thing I haven't plugged in yet is the power to the Bitx board. So I'll go ahead and plug that in now. Being careful here not to plug it in backwards. I hear a bit of noise on here. Before I was testing with the battery, and now I'm using my bench supply again, and I think a lot of this is just coming from the bench supply. So I'm not too worried about this noise here. I do notice, well, earlier if I turned it all the way up the noise would go away, but I don't want it turned all the way up anyway because that's a little loud. So I'm going to go ahead and tune towards 11 megahertz here. And I'm definitely still got a tight area where I'm receiving it. I'm not going to stay on it because I really don't want to blow out my speaker. I do have others, but I don't know. I'd like to just bring the one with the kit. I do notice I can go through my whole range here, which in this setting is 6.5 to 24 megahertz it looks like. And I'm only receiving it at that one spot. That makes me happy. And even if I turn the volume down here, way down, well, if it's all the way down you don't hear it, but just a little bit above that, and it gets pretty loud. That's why I'm not staying on it. And I do have the RF coming out of the signal generator here down as far as it'll go too. So I don't know just how much comes out of this, but I can't go any lower, it just turns off. And so there we have it. It does seem to be working. One other thing I've noticed here, which I think I'll tack on to the end of my video, if I feel around on my first IF amplifier, which feeds into the crystal filter, you can hear the static steps up a bit if I stick my fingers on it. So all I'm really hearing is a static and that repeating sound. I think that repeating sound's from my power supply though, so I'm ignoring that. Now if I go to my second IF amplifier and do that, I'm getting audio. That one is after the crystal filter. So it definitely shows the difference there that filter is making. I just thought I would show that.